Let's get the read on the American consumer, because consumer confidence is still stubbornly strong. We told you about the security on the jobs front for now. But you have to take this with a grain of salt here. There are still a lot of people who are dialing things back ahead of the holiday shopping season. How significant could that be if psychologically they're already preparing themselves to potentially spend less? Let's go to Gerald Storch, the Storch Advisors founder and CEO. Of course, you remember him from his days running Toys R Us. Gerald, good to see you.
Hello.
What do you make of where the consumer stands right now? Careful, cautious when it comes to spending, Advantage, Dollar Store, Dollar General, not so much some of the higher end guys, but where do you see the consumer about now?
I think we're at the inflection point, coming off of the post-pandemic euphoria where people were excited about everything, excited to travel, excited to do all kinds of things, where we're starting to get towards the post-summer headache. As we round Labor Day, where consumers are looking at things going, inflation's pretty bad. I'm not very happy about this economy. There's a lot of warning signs out there. And you see that in the way consumers are spending their money. As you point out, more at dollar stores, more in value places, less on things like electronics or apparel, which had been a big gainer coming out of the pandemic, and more on necessities, just trying to put food on the table. And we say consumers sales are up. Well, they're up, but they're up for food.
So if Dollar General, Dollar Store, some of these other low-cost, retailers are benefiting, it doesn't even extend all the way up to Walmart. And I'm wondering what that tells you, because on the super, super high end, the wealthy are proving, I'm not saying totally impervious to this, but they're spending like it's nobody's business. So where is this pocket that you worry about?
Look, it's actually quite consistent of a story. Keep in mind the dollar stores were doing great before the pandemic. They did okay during the pandemic, and they're doing fantastic now as people are worried about money and where they spend it. And we say Walmart isn't doing that well. Well, they're not doing nearly as bad as Target, who is really taking it on the chin.
Right.
Both of them retrospectively got caught as consumer spending shifted out of things like apparel and electronics and into necessities, and that's where they really got killed. They had too much of the stuff people didn't want anymore. The dollar stores never had that problem because they never carried apparel to begin with. Meanwhile, back to Walmart, they're still doing vastly better than Target. Don't say that it's easy to say they're doing poorly like Target and put them in the same bucket, but they're not. Like their gross margin erosion, while not good at 100 basis points in the first part of the year, Target's was almost 900 basis points gross margin erosion. So as we turn to the back half of the year, Walmart's strength, keep in mind they're the nation's #1 grocery. Walmart's strength in the places consumers want to be and in value-based products is going to put them in very good stead. So I would not put Walmart and Target in the same bucket. And meanwhile, Costco, which stands for value, has done great throughout. TJ Maxx has done great throughout. Who's doing poorly? Department stores are really a disaster. And, people say, oh, look, Macy's did well. Well, that was, compared to very poor, low expectations. Meanwhile, Kohl's numbers are terrible. Nordstrom's numbers are disastrously bad. The Gap numbers are bad. You don't want to be trying to sell apparel these days.
For the holiday season, I know you used to say, running Toys R Us, that people will always shop for their kids. They'll surrender goodies for themselves, for the kids. For me, it depends on how I feel about them on a given day. But having said that, what do you see this holiday season?
Well, you have a very good memory. And by the way, toys were very strong sellers during the pandemic. I think largely because kids were home and you had to buy them the Lego set or something, or else there's a lot of noise in the house. So toys have been selling great throughout this entire period. I would expect that to continue through the fall holiday. I think the question comes, as you talk about luxury doing well and these high-end products. Well, generally that's true. But when the stock market is down, luxury sales eventually have to go down as well, because that's what fuels luxury growth. Highest R-squared in any analysis I've ever done in retail is between the stock market and luxury sales. Very highly correlated. So the market continues to be rough. Luxury sales eventually going to settle down. You're not going to see that for the holiday. You're going to see it again much more in necessities, much more in for your kids. That's always a necessity in toys, but it's not going to be that great. And I'm really worried about the future here, because I don't think we're taking the right steps to deal with inflation in the economy. And for the Fed to just keep raising rates higher, 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 and higher, that's a single-minded solution to a big problem. And all it's going to do is drive a stake through the heart of the American consumer eventually.
And by government, you also mean what's going on in Congress right now and all the extra spending now, right?
Well, Neil, The problem we have was not created solely by loose Fed policy. Certainly that was a factor, but it was highly created by fiscal stimulus, right? By spending tons of money, by supply chain issues, transportation, distribution, shipping, by energy going up in price, and the government policies that suppress the production of fossil fuels in favor of longer-term gains in terms of global warming, by employment issues. We saw that again today, where we simply don't have enough people to staff the jobs. So there are 5 different reasons why we have high inflation and the problems we have, and all we're doing is saying, oh, the Fed will take care of it by raising rates. Well, eventually, all the Fed does is put us into a massive recession. If that's the only tool you use, and you don't address the government spending, you don't address the supply chain, you don't address the energy issues, you don't address the employment issues, you're not going to fix the problem.
All right. We'll watch very closely. Gerald, good catching up with you. Thank you again.
My pleasure.